Close your eyes for a moment and take a deep breath. Can you feel it? That quiet stirring beneath the surface of your awareness, as if something ancient and familiar is beginning to awaken inside you. It's not imagination. It's a frequency, a subtle pulse, a whisper from the deeper field of your own consciousness saying, "You are ready." Nothing in your life has ever been random. Not the pain, not the joy, not even this exact moment where my voice meets your awareness. Everything has been conspiring gently, lovingly, to bring you here to this quiet intersection between who you have been and who you are becoming. Tonight isn't just about rest. It's about remembrance. While the body sleeps, something greater begins to move, something that has been waiting for your permission. You are not just lying in bed. You are standing at the doorway of your own rebirth. This isn't a meditation to help you fall asleep. This is a passageway, a soft return to the truth of who you really are, before the world taught you to forget. You see, life has never been about constant effort or control. It's not about chasing peace or forcing joy. Have you ever noticed how a river never tries to flow? It simply allows gravity, that unseen intelligence, to guide its path. The same is true for you. When you stop trying to push against life, life starts to move through you effortlessly. There was a time when you believed you had to make everything happen, that success, healing, or love depended on how hard you worked for it. But the deeper truth is quieter than that. Reality reshapes itself not through your effort, but through your alignment. You don't create by fighting the current. You create by remembering that you are the current. Every moment of surrender, every breath of trust, is an act of creation, far more powerful than any struggle. The universe responds not to your words, but to your vibration, to the energy you carry when you let go of control and return to presence. Imagine your mind as an ocean. On the surface, the waves crash, rise, and fall thoughts, worries, stories. But beneath that surface, the deep water is perfectly still. It doesn't try to fix the waves. It simply allows them. That stillness beneath the noise, that's your real consciousness. It's not the voice in your head. It's the space that listens. When you sink into that space, even for a moment, your whole frequency changes. You become receptive, like fertile soil waiting for a seed. And what gets planted in that soil tonight are new patterns of belief, new stories of possibility, new codes of love and abundance. This is what reprogramming really means. It's not mechanical, it's sacred. It's the art of remembering your original frequency, the one you carried before fear took over. While your body rests, your subconscious begins to rearrange itself. It's like watching old constellations dissolve so new stars can form. Every cell in you listens. Every neuron rewires. Every vibration that once held fear begins to hum with peace instead. You might not feel it all at once, but the shift is real. Healing doesn't always roar. Sometimes it begins as a whisper, like the sound of your breath just before you fall asleep. As the rational mind quiets, the deeper intelligence of your being takes the lead. It knows how to heal without your interference. It knows how to guide you toward what serves your highest unfolding. It knows when to move and when to rest. You can trust that. You've spent years trying to get there, but there was never somewhere outside of you. It was always hidden inside the silence that follows your surrender. Think of every limitation you've carried, the self-doubt, the guilt, the inherited stories that whispered you're not enough. All of them were just echoes of old programming. None of them belonged to you. They were software written by fear, not truth. And tonight, that code begins to rewrite itself. Each time you exhale, you release a fragment of that old data. Each time you inhale, you receive a new vibration, one of self-worth, clarity, and unconditional peace. This isn't about becoming someone new. It's about remembering who you already are beneath the noise. A field of consciousness, infinite and whole. pretending to be a single human story for a little while. The science of the quantum field tells us that everything, thoughts, emotions, even matter, is made of vibration. The mystics have been saying the same thing for centuries as within. So without, when your frequency changes, the outer world begins to reflect that change, like a mirror adjusting its light. So as you drift deeper into rest tonight, know that the universe is responding in real time to your vibration of ease. Doors are opening that your logic couldn't see. People, opportunities, and insights are aligning quietly, precisely, perfectly, not because you demanded it, but because you remembered how to allow it. Surrender isn't weakness. It's participation in the higher order of things. It's saying, I no longer need to carry this alone. You are not here to prove your worth. You are here to express it. You are not a mistake that needs fixing. You are consciousness discovering itself through your heartbeat, your laughter, your tears. And the moment you stop resisting what is, you create the perfect condition for transformation. Healing rushes in. Peace expands. The energy that creates galaxies begins to move through you again. Unblocked, unhurried, completely natural. You can almost feel it now, that soft hum beneath your ribs, that quiet warmth in your chest. That's life rearranging itself to match your surrender. As the night deepens, imagine yourself floating weightless, effortless, like a leaf carried by a calm river. You don't need to steer. The current already knows where you're meant to go. Everything that needs to fall away will fall away gently. Everything that's meant for you will rise to meet you effortlessly. You no longer have to fight for alignment. You are alignment. You no longer have to seek love. You are love remembering itself. Let this be your quiet vow tonight, to stop chasing what's already here, to stop trying to control what's already unfolding in divine rhythm, because when you release the effort to make it happen, you step into the grace of letting it happen. As you listen now, let every word drift deeper than thought, into the space where understanding becomes knowing. Your subconscious is absorbing what your conscious mind cannot yet grasp. It's reorganizing, recalibrating, and returning you to coherence. The frequencies of peace, abundance, and love are already merging within you, weaving a new reality that will unfold naturally, beautifully, inevitably. You may not see the change tomorrow, but you will feel it in the way life begins to soften around you, in how ease replaces struggle, and how synchronicities start to appear like small winks from the universe. This is the quiet miracle of alignment. It doesn't shout, it whispers. And as you rest tonight, I know this. You are not falling asleep, you are being reawakened. You are not ending your day. You are beginning your transformation. So breathe, surrender, allow, because the universe isn't waiting for you to fight for your new life. It's waiting for you to relax into it. When morning comes, you won't need to remember every word. Your subconscious already has, and life will begin to respond to the new frequency you carry as naturally as dawn follows night. You will notice it in small ways. First, a calm where there used to be fear, a smile that comes without reason, an opportunity that feels like it found you. That's the sign that the reprogramming has taken root. You are no longer trying to become, you are simply being, and from that being, everything begins to unfold. So tonight, as you close your eyes and drift into the field of infinite possibility, remember, you don't have to make the magic happen. You only have to stop standing in its way. You are the frequency. You are the channel. You are the dream that the universe is dreaming awake. 1. The descent into the subconscious, the doorway back to the self. As the breath slows, something inside you begins to dissolve. It's as if your body no longer ends where your skin meets the air. It melts into the space around you, like mist merging with morning light. The edges blur, the noise softens, and what remains is only awareness, itself, quiet, infinite, alive. Each breath is a step downward, not a fall, not a collapse, a surrender. You descend, not into darkness, but into depth. Imagine a staircase made of light spiraling gently inward, leading you back through layers of memory, belief, and emotion. All the stories you've told yourself about who you are. Every step takes you closer to the heart of your being, the part that existed before your name, before your fears, before your first thought. This is not a journey of escape. It's a return, a homecoming to the consciousness that has been silently witnessing everything since the beginning. As you move deeper, logic begins to fade, not because it's wrong, but because it's too small to hold the immensity of what you truly are. The rational mind, that faithful architect of plans and explanations, finally exhales and steps aside. It understands now that it was never meant to carry the whole of your soul. You feel it, the subtle release of control, the weight of effort sliding off your shoulders, like an old coat you no longer need. You are lighter, quieter, wider. And in that stillness, something ancient stirs the original intelligence that has always lived beneath your thoughts. It doesn't speak in words. It speaks in knowing. You don't need to analyze it, only to feel it. It's the same intelligence that guides the stars in their orbits, that tells the seed when to split open, that whispers to the ocean when to rise and fall. That intelligence is not outside of you. It is you. You have simply remembered the language. It speaks silence. As the descent continues, you might notice flickers, images, memories, sensations from your past. Don't cling to them. Don't push them away. They are just echoes, old energy surfacing for release, like bubbles rising from the bottom of a lake. They only come up because the water is clearing. Let them pass through. Let them go home. Forgive the self that didn't know better. The self that carried pain because it thought pain was proof of love. Forgive the self that doubted, that tried too hard, that feared too much. None of it was wasted. Every scar is a doorway back to awareness. Every struggle was a map leading you here to the space beneath effort, where grace begins. The deeper you go, the softer everything becomes. Your body no longer feels like a separate thing to fix or manage. It becomes a vessel of light, breathing with the rhythm of the universe itself. Every cell hums with quiet intelligence. Your heartbeat is the echo of creation, the same pulse that moves galaxies through the void. Here, in this state, there is no rush to change. Transformation doesn't require force. It happens naturally in the soil of surrender, like the way night becomes dawn, not through effort, but through inevitability. This is the realm of the subconscious, but not as science often describes it, not a hidden vault of chaos, but a living ocean of possibility. It's where thought turns into energy, and energy turns into form. The moment you reach this stillness, the programming begins to rewrite itself, not through command, but through coherence, because coherence, that perfect harmony between mind, body, and spirit, is the true creative state. It's not about fixing what's broken. It's about remembering that nothing ever was. You were simply entangled in the dream of separation. In this quiet space, truth reveals itself gently. You see that every fear you've held was just love, disguised as caution. Every limitation was just a boundary, drawn by a frightened mind, trying to protect itself from pain. But the soul does not fear pain. It transforms it. The soul knows that darkness is not the enemy of light. It's the canvas that makes the light visible. As your awareness expands, the subconscious ceases to be below anything. It becomes one with consciousness, no longer the basement of the mind, but the ground of being itself. You realize there is no up or down, no inner or outer. There is only one field, infinite, responsive, alive, and you are part of its heartbeat. Your breath slows even more. The edges of thought dissolve completely now. What remains is presence, simple, raf, luminous. You are not thinking anymore. You are being thought by something vast and benevolent. And in that moment, understanding arises effortlessly. You were never meant to control life. You were meant to become aware of it. Awareness itself is the transformation. You might wonder how this will change your waking life. And the answer is quietly profound. When you touch this depth, even for a few moments, the world above begins to reorganize itself. People respond differently. Opportunities appear where resistance used to be. The same way water finds its path around a stone, life begins to move with more ease, more grace. You don't need to force this. The subconscious carries the new vibration naturally into every corner of your reality. When you wake, you'll feel a little clearer, a little lighter, not because something happened, but because something stopped happening. The struggle stopped, the pretending stopped, and what's left is what's always been true. You are enough. You have always been enough. So, rest here for a moment longer. Feel the vastness within you, the quiet space that holds worlds together. This is your foundation, your source, your true self unshaken by circumstance, untouched by time. The journey into the subconscious is not a descent into mystery, but a return to simplicity. It's the soft realization that you were never lost. You were only dreaming. And as you awaken from that dream, you realize that nothing needs to be fixed, only remembered. You are the consciousness that breathes life into form. You are the silence between every thought. You are the light behind every shadow. And this awareness, this quiet recognition, is the doorway home. When you rise from this space, the world will look the same, but it won't feel the same. Colors will seem softer, people kinder, time slower. You'll move through the day, not as someone striving to become whole, but as someone who already is. Because from this depth, every step, every breath, every choice becomes sacred, not because it's perfect, but because it's awake. And that is the quiet miracle of this journey. You don't become something new. You remember the truth that has always been whispering beneath the noise that you are light, moving gently through form, learning how to love yourself back into oneness. So breathe again. Let your awareness rest deep in that knowing. You found the doorway, and it was never outside you. It was always right here, waiting for you to remember. 2. Releasing old memories. Dissolving in the light of awareness. When you finally allow yourself to let go, the weight you've been carrying begins to soften slowly at first. Like ice melting under the first touch of spring. There's no need to fight your past. There's no need to fix what was broken. All that is required is presence, a gentle witnessing, a quiet willingness to see what's been buried under layers of fear and self-protection. Every emotion you've ever pushed away is still somewhere inside, waiting not to be erased, but to be held. Pain lingers, not because it wants to punish you, but because it has not yet been met with understanding. The moment you stop running from it and simply allow it to exist, even for a breath, you open a door. And through that door, light begins to pour in. This is the light of awareness. It doesn't burn, it illuminates. It doesn't judge, it reveals. It doesn't demand that you be better. It simply invites you to see. You may notice memories surfacing, moments that shaped you, words that cut deep, the echo of old failures, the ache of lost love. Let them come. They rise not to torment you, but to be freed, because every memory carries energy, and energy, by nature, wants to move. When you hold on to a memory, when you replay it, resist it, or bury it, that energy stagnates. It becomes a shadow, a silent tension that colors your perception of life. But when you breathe into it, when you witness it without resistance, it starts to dissolve, like fog dispersing under morning light. You don't need to heal your past. You only need to stop believing it defines who you are. The person you were when those moments happened, that child, That young version of you was doing the best they could with the awareness they had. Every mistake, every heartbreak, every loss, they were not curses. They were invitations to grow deeper roots of compassion. Think of gold, refined by fire. The impurities aren't a failure of the gold, they are what allows the heat to bring out its true radiance. Your suffering has done the same for you. It has not diminished you. It has clarified you, so when old memories appear, instead of asking, "Why is this back?" try asking, "What is this teaching me now?" Sometimes the lesson is as simple as, you can love yourself even here. There's a moment, quiet, almost imperceptible, when a memory loses its sting. You'll feel it. The body softens. The breath deepens. The heart stops bracing for impact. That's not forgetting. That's freedom. Forgiveness often begins, not with words, but with understanding. Forgiveness doesn't mean saying what happened was right. It means you're ready to stop carrying it. You stop drinking the poison of resentment and expecting it to hurt someone else. And in that release, something extraordinary happens. Space for new energy, new ideas, new love, because the universe abhors a vacuum. Once you clear the weight of the past, life rushes in to fill the space with possibility. Some people believe healing is a dramatic awakening, a lightning bolt that shatters everything at once. But for most of us, it's gentler. Healing often arrives disguised as a small sigh, a tear you didn't expect, a quiet night where the pain finally feels bearable. It happens in the small choices, choosing to breathe instead of react, choosing to stay instead of run, choosing to love even when the old fear whispers, "It's not safe." That's real transformation, not the escape from darkness, but the ability to bring light into it. When you allow yourself to witness the pain rather than identify with it, you begin to realize something profound. You are not the story. You are the awareness. The story is happening within. You are not the storm. You are the sky holding it. This understanding changes everything. Because once you see that you were never broken, you stop trying to fix yourself. Instead, you start to listen to the subtle rhythm of your being that's always been whole. There's a place inside you beyond the noise of thought, beyond the scars of memory, where peace never left. It's not something you have to earn. It's what you return to when you stop believing in your own unworthiness. Every time you close your eyes and breathe, you step closer to that place. You might even feel it now, a warmth in your chest, a softening behind your eyes, a quiet sense of "I'm okay." That's the truth reintroducing itself to you. That's awareness, reminding you that no matter what happened, you are still the light that experienced it, not the darkness itself. Letting go doesn't mean erasing the past. It means loosening your grip on it, allowing it to exist without letting it define your future. Think of your memories like pages in a book. You can revisit them to understand the story, but you don't have to keep rereading the same chapter. When you truly release, you begin to live in the present with a lighter heart. And this lightness, this clarity, changes the field around you. Your vibration shifts. Your energy becomes magnetic. You stop attracting what matches your wounds and start resonating with what matches your worth. This is how consciousness transforms reality, not through force, but through resonance. When you become peaceful inside, life mirrors that peace back to you. When you become forgiving inside, life becomes softer around you. It's not magic, it's coherence. The world responds to your frequency, the same way an instrument responds to the note that's played near it. As you continue to breathe, you might notice the same memories that once hurt now feel distant, almost kind. They've been touched by understanding. They no longer bind you because you've seen through them. Awareness is the ultimate solvent. It dissolves everything that isn't real. And what's left when illusion dissolves? Love. Always love. The love that doesn't come and go. The love that doesn't depend on anyone's approval. The love that has been quietly waiting beneath every fear, every regret, every unspoken ache. That love is you. not the you that the world shaped, but the essence that shaped the world through your eyes. So tonight, as you rest, let this be your prayer, not one of asking, but of allowing. May every memory that still aches find peace in the light of my awareness. May every old version of me that still clings to pain be wrapped in gentleness and finally rest. May I see clearly that nothing was wasted and everything was guiding me home. Because in truth, there was never anything to forgive, only things to understand. And as understanding deepens, the walls inside you begin to fall, not with violence, but with grace. You awaken one morning and realize the past no longer hurts. It has become your teacher, your companion, your mirror. And you can finally thank it, not because it was easy, but because it brought you here, to this moment of stillness, here, to the knowing that peace was never something to chase. It was always what remained when you stopped running. And in that quiet recognition, the last remnants of the old pain dissolve not into nothingness, but into light, the light of awareness, the light of your true being. 3. Activating creative energy, returning to the role of the creator. There's a moment, somewhere between waking and sleep, when the noise of the world fades away. It's quiet enough for you to hear the hum of your own being, the soft pulse of existence beneath thought. In that stillness, something becomes unmistakably clear. You were never a victim of life. You were always its architect. This realization doesn't arrive like thunder. It comes as a whisper. It's the kind of truth that doesn't demand belief. It simply feels right. Like remembering a song you used to know by heart. Every thought you've ever held, every emotion you've allowed to stay, every image you've replayed in your mind, they've all been instructions whispered into the fabric of the universe. You've been creating all along, even when you thought you were lost. The universe doesn't speak words. It responds to vibration. And your vibration, your state of being, has always been the real language of creation. When you understand this, something fundamental shifts. You stop asking life to give you what you want. And instead, you start becoming what you seek. You no longer wish for peace. You breathe as peace. You no longer chase love. You embody it. You no longer plead for abundance. You align with the knowing that abundance is already woven into your nature. You see, creation doesn't happen through effort. It happens through coherence. It's not about pushing the river. It's about realizing you are the river, already flowing toward what is yours. The current of life doesn't need your control. It needs your trust. Most of us were taught to create from the mind through strategy, force, and repetition. But real creation begins in the space between your thoughts and the frequency of your emotions. Every time you feel gratitude, joy, or presence, you become a clear signal in the field. And the quantum field, that vast ocean of infinite potential, rearranges itself to mirror the clarity you emit. Imagine holding a tuning fork and striking it lightly. Now imagine another tuning fork across the room, vibrating in resonance. That's how creation works. You don't need to chase or pull things toward you. You only need to vibrate at the frequency of what you desire. The rest aligns naturally, quietly, elegantly, without effort. This is not wishful thinking. It's physics. But it's also poetry, because in the end, the universe is both mathematical in structure, lyrical in motion. When your inner world changes, your outer world has no choice but to respond. You might ask, if I've always been the creator, why have I experienced so much pain? Because even pain is creation, not punishment. But feedback, it's the universe showing you the frequency you've been unconsciously tuning to. It's not there to shame you, but to guide you home to awareness. When you shift from blame to curiosity, pain transforms into wisdom. And from that wisdom, creation becomes conscious. Creation doesn't mean controlling circumstances. It means participating consciously in the dance between energy and awareness. Your role isn't to micromanage life, but to direct the symphony through vibration, Think of your thoughts as notes, your emotions as rhythm, and your attention as the conductor's hand. When you focus on lack, you play a discordant tune. When you focus on gratitude, the whole orchestra responds in harmony. Reality is listening to you, always, not to your words, but to the emotional tone beneath them. If you wake each morning already braced for struggle, the field hears. Struggle. If you fall asleep wrapped in the frequency of peace, the field hears. Peace. And it echoes back accordingly, not as reward or punishment, but as resonance. This is the subtle art of creation. You don't attract what you want, you attract what you are. It's important to understand that this creative power is not about ego or control. It's not about trying to bend the world to your will. True creation happens when the small self, the one obsessed with outcomes and appearances, relaxes into the larger intelligence that animates everything. You could call that intelligence God, Source, the field, or simply life. Names don't matter. What matters is that you begin to trust it again. Because this field is not outside of you. It breathes with you. It moves through you. It is you. The illusion of separation was the only thing that kept you from remembering. You've been taught to manifest by asking, visualizing, affirming. But the real magic happens when you stop asking and start allowing. Allowing doesn't mean inaction. It means moving from alignment, not anxiety. It means acting from fullness, not from fear of lack. When you act from peace, creation becomes effortless, because peace is the signature of coherence. You may notice moments when this coherence feels natural, when you say or do something and it feels guided, almost inevitable. Those are the moments when you are no longer the doer. You are being moved by the intelligence of the field. That's when life feels like art, spontaneous, graceful, yet deeply intentional. To live as a conscious creator is to live in dialogue with the universe. Every moment becomes communication. Every emotion becomes feedback. You are both the message and the messenger, both the painter and the canvas. This is what ancient teachers meant when they said, as within, so without. The world doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. And when you align with that truth, life becomes less about trying to make things happen and more about witnessing them unfold through you. You are not here to wrestle with fate. You are here to collaborate with it. As you deepen in this realization, you begin to see creation everywhere, in the way sunlight touches your skin, in the rhythm of your heartbeat, in the simple act of breathing. You start to understand that creation isn't an event. It's a constant state of participation. Every breath you take is both an inhale of experience and an exhale of expression. The world is your mirror. If you want to see something new reflected, you don't fight the mirror, you change your expression. When you smile within, the reflection smiles back. When you soften your heart, the world softens too. And when you finally stop waiting for proof, proof begins to appear everywhere, not because reality changed first, but because you did. This understanding doesn't make life perfect. It makes it alive. You'll still face uncertainty, but it will no longer feel like threat. It will feel like possibility. You'll still have emotions, but you'll stop drowning in them. You'll learn to surf their waves. And every moment, even the challenging ones, becomes a canvas for creation. Because now you know energy never stops moving, and consciousness never stops choosing. Even when you rest, you create through the frequencies you hold, through the trust you embody, through the love you allow to flow unhindered. You are the bridge between the unseen and the seen, between the wave and the particle, between silence and sound. You are the meeting point where God becomes experience. So tonight, as you drift into sleep, remember this truth. You are not here to force reality into shape. You are here to remember that it is already responding to you. As you rest, the universe listens to the tone of your heart, not your wishes, not your worries, but your vibration, and it begins to move in harmony with the frequency you offer. You don't have to make creation happen. It's already happening through you. Every thought, every emotion, every act of surrender is a brushstroke on the canvas of your reality. Let your brush be guided by peace. Let your colors be love, gratitude, and trust. And let your masterpiece unfold naturally. Because when you align with your creative essence, life stops being something you survive. It becomes something you compose. And in that quiet knowing, you finally return to your rightful role, not as the victim of circumstance, but as the conscious creator of experience, not by force, but by resonance, not by will, but by remembering. You were never powerless. You were simply asleep. And now, you are awakening one breath, one thought, one vibration at a time, to the infinite artist you have always been. 4. Reconnecting with the body, where the subconscious becomes matter. There's something sacred that happens when you sleep, something the mind rarely comprehends but the body has always known. While your thoughts drift beyond logic, your body becomes a quiet laboratory of transformation. Every cell, every strand of DNA listens, not to your words, but to your vibration, and without needing your permission, it begins to rearrange itself according to the frequency you carry. This is the intelligence of life, silent, steady, profound. It doesn't argue or analyze. It simply responds. Your body has never been separate from your consciousness. It is the visible extension of your invisible energy. What you think, it feels. What you believe, it builds. As you rest, all that you are is translated into form. The thoughts that once circled endlessly in your mind begin to sink down into your tissues. Your breath, your heartbeat, the body, in its infinite wisdom, takes those impressions and turns them into chemistry, into hormones, signals, impulses. This is not mystical. It's the physics of being alive. The mind dreams, the body listens, reality adjusts. You don't need to understand the mechanics of this process for it to work, just as a seed doesn't need to know how to grow roots. It only needs the right conditions: stillness, warmth, and trust. When you stop interfering, nature takes over. The same law applies to you. The body thrives when you let it. So much of our suffering comes from believing the body is a problem to be solved, a machine to be controlled. We try to fix it, push it, silence its messages. But the body was never the enemy. It was the messenger, loyal, patient, endlessly forgiving. Even after years of neglect, it continues to serve you, to heal, to rebuild. When you finally begin to listen, not with judgment but with gentleness, something extraordinary happens. You feel the aliveness that has always been there, waiting under the noise, the subtle pulse beneath your ribs, the warmth in your hands, the quiet intelligence flowing in your veins. That is the language of your subconscious. Translated into sensation, every emotion you've ever suppressed: grief, anger, fear, lives somewhere in the body, folded into its memory like pages in a book. When you breathe deeply, when you allow yourself to feel without resistance, those pages begin to open again. You might feel a tremor, a tightness, a tear. It's not weakness, it's energy moving. The body doesn't release through words. It releases through rhythm, through the breath that slows, through the shoulders that finally drop, through the sigh that escapes when you stop pretending to be strong. This is not self-indulgence, it's repair. It's the moment when the subconscious begins to speak the only language it truly understands, the language of presence. In that state of deep relaxation, your nervous system resets. Your heart rate synchronizes with the rhythm of your breath. The cells begin their quiet work, clearing toxins, repairing tissues, rebalancing hormones. What you call sleep is actually a symphony of renewal, orchestrated by consciousness itself. The mind might think it's resting, but the body is listening to every note, every affirmation you whisper before sleep, every image you hold in your heart. The body hears it as truth and begins to build accordingly. If you fall asleep in fear, your cells record tension. If you fall asleep in trust, your cells remember peace. It's that simple, that intimate, that powerful. There is a moment often just before deep sleep when awareness hovers between the conscious and the subconscious. In that space, you can feel the connection clearly, mind melting into matter, thought becoming biology. You realize that your body isn't just something you have, it's something you are. It's your consciousness made visible, touchable, measurable. And when you honor it, the body becomes an ally instead of a burden. You begin to understand that fatigue isn't betrayal, it's a request for stillness. That pain isn't punishment, it's communication. That illness isn't failure, it's an invitation to realign. When you meet your body with compassion, it responds instantly. It softens. It begins to trust you again. And in that trust, miracles unfold, quietly, muscle by muscle, breath by breath, cell by cell. Science calls it homeostasis. Spirit calls it harmony. Both describe the same truth. When you stop resisting life, life reorganizes itself toward balance. The field of quantum biology is beginning to glimpse what mystics have always known, that consciousness interacts with matter, that your attention is an energy field, and wherever it rests, creation begins. When you focus on your body with gratitude instead of criticism, you shift the chemistry of your entire being. The body, sensing safety, releases oxytocin and serotonin, the hormones of healing. Blood pressure lowers. Inflammation eases. The immune system activates, and all of it happens not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. This is the science of allowing the moment energy chooses to become form. Think of your body as the earth itself, ancient, fertile, wise. Every cell is a garden plot, and your thoughts are seeds. Some seeds grow quickly, others take time, but every single one responds to the quality of your attention. If you plant fear, you harvest contraction. If you plant peace, you harvest vitality. If you plant gratitude, you harvest resilience. The soil never judges the seed. It only nurtures what's been placed in it. Your body works the same way, neutral, devoted, endlessly creative. So as you lie down tonight, realize you are not doing nothing. You are participating in the most natural act of creation. There is the translation of invisible vibration into living matter. Your rest is not laziness, it's alignment. The next time you wake and feel your body stretch, feel the pulse under your skin. Know that this simple aliveness is proof that consciousness never sleeps. Even when your mind drifts into dreams, your body keeps weaving, mending, creating. You are a living experiment in transformation, constantly reshaping yourself in response to your own awareness. And here's the quiet miracle: the more you love your body, the more it reflects that love reorganizes molecules. Love changes hormones. Love even alters Shana expression. The scientists call it epigenetics. The mystics call it grace. So, tonight, as you surrender to sleep, let every breath be a blessing offered to your body. Thank it for carrying you through years of striving, through storms and stillness alike. Thank it for knowing how to heal when you didn't know how to help. Thank it for never giving up on you. Let that gratitude ripple through you like a soft current of light. Feel it moving through your chest, your arms, your legs, all the way to your fingertips. Every cell hears it. Every system responds. This is how matter remembers its source: through love, through awareness, through permission. Your body is not a cage for the soul. It is the soul, expressed in slow vibration, the unseen made visible. And when you truly understand that, you begin to live differently. You move slower, speak softer, breathe deeper. You stop waging war with yourself and start listening, because every pulse, every ache, every sigh is a message from the universe, whispering through your own skin. You are not separate from creation. You are creation itself, resting, renewing, remembering. So rest now, not to escape the world, but to rebuild it from within, one cell, one breath, one heartbeat at a time. 5. Harmonizing with the frequency of prosperity, the flow of giving and receiving. There comes a point on every inner journey when the heart, after years of armoring itself, finally begins to open again. It doesn't happen with fanfare. It happens quietly, like a flower unfolding at dawn, simply because it can no longer stay closed. And when that happens, energy, life itself, begins to move through you once more. At first, it feels unfamiliar. For so long, you've been holding, protecting, bracing. But now, as the heart expands, the current returns. You feel warmth in your chest, a lightness in your breath, a calm sense that you are not separate from the flow of life. You realize that what you used to call money, love, or health are all just different expressions of one thing: the energy of allowance, the energy of inner agreement. Prosperity isn't something that comes to you, it's something that flows through you. It cannot be chased, because chasing implies lack. It cannot be controlled, because control creates tension. Prosperity appears naturally when the inner landscape becomes hospitable to it, when your energy no longer resists what it's asking to give you. Every form of abundance, wealth, love, vitality, opportunity moves along the same current. That current is trust, not blind optimism, but embodied trust, the kind that says, I don't have to force what already belongs to me. When you feel worthy, you stop running. When you stop running, life starts walking toward you. Most of us were taught to equate worthiness with effort. Work harder, prove more, to achieve more. Only then, maybe, you'll deserve the good things. But the truth is gentler, deeper, older than any cultural story. The moment you feel deserving, the moment you rest in that simple recognition, I am enough. As I am, the universe rearranges itself around that frequency. You become like a magnet aligned to its natural polarity. You don't have to pull anything. The pull happens naturally. Think of your energy as a river. When fear and guilt block it, the water stagnates. You can scoop at the surface all you want, but nothing new will come. Yet the moment you open the dam, the moment you allow yourself to receive, the river rushes forward. It cleanses, nourishes, and renews. Receiving is not passive. It's an act of participation with life. To receive is to acknowledge that you are part of the same intelligence that gives. The inhale is not weaker than the exhale. It's part of the same sacred rhythm. That rhythm, giving and receiving, is the heartbeat of prosperity. When you give from fear, you deplete yourself. When you give from love, you multiply what flows through you. When you receive from guilt, you block the current. When you receive with gratitude, you amplify it. It's never about the amount of money, affection, or help. It's about the energy behind it. The universe doesn't measure transactions. It measures vibration. Many people believe that prosperity is about accumulation, having more. But the essence of prosperity is circulation. Energy that doesn't move becomes stagnant. The same is true of wealth, ideas, and emotions. The truly abundant person is not the one who hoards, but the one who lets energy pass through them freely. You see this in nature. Trees give oxygen without demand. The ocean gives rain without fear of running dry. The sun gives warmth without expectation. They all understand the same truth, that giving is not loss. Giving is the act of keeping the current alive. And yet, giving without receiving is imbalance. Many souls find it easy to give, but uncomfortable to receive. They'll pour love into others but shrink when it comes back. That's not humility. That's resistance disguised as virtue. To receive fully is to affirm that you are part of the circle of creation, that what flows out from you must return to you. Transformed, expanded. The real abundance journey begins when you release the idea that prosperity is earned. You cannot earn what you already are. You can only remember it. Prosperity is not a prize. It's a mirror. It reflects the relationship you have with yourself. If deep down you believe that others deserve more, the mirror will show you that belief. If you carry guilt for having it will manifest as loss. But when you start to see yourself as a vessel of life's energy, not superior or inferior, just part of the whole, the mirror begins to shift. You'll notice that opportunities find you more easily. You'll sense that support appears at the exact moment. You stop trying to control it. You'll meet people whose energy matches your peace. It's not magic, it's resonance. I learned this truth the hard way. There were years when I chased prosperity as if it were running away from me. I worked harder, worried more, and wondered why the flow seemed so reluctant. Eventually, exhaustion humbled me enough to stop. In that stillness, I realized I had been fighting the very thing I was asking for. You can't hold water by clenching your fist. You can only hold it by cupping your hands gently. That's when the shift began, not because I figured out a formula, but because I softened. I started giving without fear, receiving without guilt, and trusting that balance would find its own way. And it did. Not overnight, but consistently, like the tide returning to shore. When you live in harmony with this flow, gratitude becomes your natural state. You stop taking things for granted, not out of duty, but because you can feel the pulse of life in everything: the food you eat, the sunlight on your skin, the conversation that lifts your spirit. You realize that gratitude isn't just emotional, it's energetic. It raises your frequency. It tells the field, I am available for more of this. And the field responds. In that vibration, even challenges feel different. You no longer ask, why is this happening to me, but what is this trying to show me? Because you trust that life, even in its seeming contradictions, is always moving toward balance, toward greater coherence. Prosperity is coherence. It's when your thoughts, emotions, and actions are in alignment with your worth. Sometimes people ask, but what about those who suffer, who have nothing? Compassion must always walk beside truth. The flow of giving and receiving is universal, but not everyone has been taught how to trust it. Pain often teaches what comfort cannot, and when one person remembers their abundance, they become a bridge for others to remember too. That's why your prosperity serves more than just you. Every time you receive joyfully, you open a channel for that energy to move through the world. You make it safer for others to receive as well. True abundance isn't selfish. It's generous by nature. It's not about more for me. It's about more for all. Because when the current flows freely, everyone along the river benefits. As your heart continues to open, the distinction between giving and receiving fades. You begin to see that both are the same motion viewed from different sides. When you give love, you feel love move through you. When you receive love, you feel it just the same. The current is always flowing, always nourishing both ends of the exchange. This is the art of prosperity, not chasing, not controlling, but participating. You are not outside of abundance, looking in. You are inside it, shaping it with your awareness. So tonight, as you rest, breathe in the frequency of gratitude and breathe out the frequency of generosity. Let them become one rhythm, steady, effortless, eternal. Because the universe is not withholding anything from you. It is simply matching your willingness to let it in. When you know that, you stop asking, when will it come? And start whispering, I am already in it. And in that quiet recognition, life in all its richness begins to flow toward you, through you, and as you. 6. Re-establishing the order of the soul, returning to the natural state of knowing. There comes a quiet turning point on the inner journey, a moment when striving finally exhausts itself. The mind, after years of pushing and proving, simply grows tired of fighting the current. It drops its tools, its logic, its arguments, and something softer begins to take its place. That something is not weakness. It is wisdom. When personal will finally grow silent, the natural order of the soul returns effortless, balanced, and astonishingly precise. The same intelligence that guides the seasons, that pulls the tide toward the moon, that unfolds a flower without mistake, begins to move through you again. You realize, perhaps for the first time, that you never had to make life happen. You only had to get out of the way. This is not resignation, it's restoration. It's the moment when you stop mistaking control for strength and understand that surrender is not giving up, it's coming home. When the mind is loud, life feels chaotic. You see disorder everywhere, too many choices, too many expectations, too many shoulds. But when the mind softens, you begin to perceive an invisible rhythm beneath everything. Events that once seemed random start to align with uncanny grace. The right people appear at the right time. Conversations happen as if scripted by a kinder hand. It's not that the world has changed, it's that you have stopped resisting its natural intelligence. Imagine the soul as a vast field of light, infinitely ordered, infinitely calm. In that field, everything you've ever desired already exists, not as distant possibilities, but as latent patterns waiting for permission to bloom. When you are tangled in anxiety and control, those patterns cannot unfold because fear scrambles the signal. But when you enter stillness, when your awareness becomes quiet and open, the field reorganizes. The energy that once scattered now moves in perfect symmetry. This is the science of allowing the quantum truth that consciousness arranges reality according to the frequency of presence. You don't need to fix the world to find peace. You only need to rest in the awareness that peace is what the world arises from. There is an old saying, when the student stops searching, the teacher appears. In truth, the teacher is not a person. It's the silence that remains when seeking ends. It's the gentle knowing that whispers, everything is already unfolding as it should. The soul does not chase. It doesn't rush to manifest, to prove, or to win. It simply knows. Knowing is its nature. And this knowing is not intellectual, it's vibrational. You've tasted this knowing before in the pause between breaths, in the hush before sleep, in those rare moments when you stop needing life to be different. In that space, there is no effort, no story, no identity to defend. There is only awareness, spacious, loving, present. That awareness is not something you gain. It's what remains when everything false falls away. When you rest in this awareness long enough, the outer world begins to mirror it. You notice that things begin to take their place without force. The people who no longer resonate drift out of your life with ease. New connections arrive without searching. The right opportunities unfold as if they had been waiting behind a thin veil. This is the natural order of the soul, in motion, not chaos, not control, but coherence. It's like watching a flock of birds turn together in midair. No leader, no command, only shared intelligence. The soul moves the same way. It doesn't need orders. It moves in harmony with the unseen. When you stop trying to direct the show, the choreography of life reveals itself as perfect ND. In this state, the idea of manifestation begins to lose its urgency. You no longer wake up trying to attract or achieve. You wake up already aligned. You realize that creation doesn't happen through desire. It happens through congruence. Everything that matches your frequency, peace, love, opportunity, clarity comes naturally. because it recognizes itself in you. The universe is not a machine responding to your requests. It is a mirror reflecting your state of being. When you are at peace, peace reflects. When you are love, love reflects. There's no need to shout your affirmations to the sky. A single breath of genuine presence carries more creative power than 1,000 declarations made from fear. This is the quiet mastery of the awakened soul, to create without trying, to receive without demanding, to live without resistance. And yet, this state is not detached. It is deeply human. You still feel. You still dream. You still stumble. The difference is that you no longer confuse these experiences with failure. You understand that everything, even confusion, even loss, has its place in the grand design. The storm doesn't disturb the sky. It's simply part of its expression. Likewise, your temporary storms don't disturb your essence. They pass through, and the sky of your awareness remains untouched. Once you realize this, forgiveness becomes effortless, not as a moral gesture, but as a natural outcome of clarity. You forgive life for being imperfect because you finally see its perfection hidden inside the imperfection. From this perspective, effort transforms into participation. You still act, but you act from the stillness within you, not the panic around you. You still plan, but your plans are flexible, light, and infused with faith. You still dream, but your dreams no longer come from lack. They emerge from fullness. In this space, your energy is not fragmented by worry. It flows in one direction forward, clean, precise. And because it flows cleanly, it creates coherently. This is the true creative order. Inner alignment first, outer manifestation second. When the soul leads, life follows. You might wonder, how do I stay in this state? The answer is you don't. You can't hold stillness. You can only return to it, over and over, like a home you never really left. Stillness is your natural state. Awareness is your baseline. You fall away from it only when you start believing the noise again, the noise that says you must do more, be more, have more. But each time you notice that noise, you can smile gently and step back into knowing, not by force, but by remembering, I am not the chaos. I am the consciousness that perceives it. When this understanding anchors in you, something subtle yet profound happens. Your energy stops leaking into resistance. You begin to conserve power, spiritual, emotional, even physical. You feel lighter, yet more grounded. It's as if life becomes simpler because you've stopped complicating it. You see beauty in ordinary things, the rhythm of footsteps on a sidewalk, the way sunlight filters through the curtain, the quiet company of your own breath. You no longer need proof that you're on the right path. The peace you feel is the proof. This is what it means to live from the soul's natural order. When you rest here long enough, creativity flows through you naturally. Words come when they are meant to. Solutions arise without analysis. Synchronicities multiply. You no longer think of yourself as doing. You simply notice life happening through you. As you, with you. You've become the clear window through which existence experiences itself. And the greatest paradox of all is that the moment you stop trying to become enlightened, you begin to live enlightened, not as an achievement, but as a way of being. So, let your will be quiet tonight. Let the river of your energy return to its source. You don't need to chase what's already yours, or prove what's already true. You are the field through which infinite possibilities unfold. Every dream, every potential, every vision you've ever held, they already exist in the quantum fabric of your being. The moment you stop grasping, they begin to emerge through you. As naturally as breath leaves the lungs and returns again, you are not becoming the light. You have always been it. And when the mind finally bows to that truth, the soul takes its rightful seat serene, sovereign, silent. That is the natural order of being. That is the quiet return to knowing. Nothing to fix, nothing to chase, only this awareness resting in itself, at peace with the miracle of simply existing. When you stop trying to make it happen tonight, as you drift into sleep, the universe is quietly working with you. It doesn't need your struggle, your plans, or your insistence. It only needs your openness, that subtle shift from control to trust. The moment you release your grip, the energy that has always surrounded you begins to reorganize itself with grace. The old patterns start to dissolve, like frost, softening beneath the morning sun. All the beliefs that once kept you small, the stories you repeated out of habit, the fears you mistook for truth, they are melting now. Not because you forced them to, but because you finally allowed the warmth of awareness to reach them. Something new is taking root. You can't quite name it yet, but you can feel it, a quiet coherence forming beneath the noise. It's not a change you have to direct. It's a remembrance of who you already are. An energetic update is downloading through every layer of your being, subtle, precise, profound. Your body knows how to receive it. Your heart knows how to translate it. Your subconscious, vast and faithful, is absorbing every vibration, storing it deep in its luminous code. You don't need to memorize these words or analyze their meaning. The truth they carry is not meant for the surface mind. It's meant for the deeper intelligence within you, the part that never sleeps, the part that remembers. By the time morning arrives, you will awaken not as someone new, but as someone real. The same body, the same name, the same world, yet everything feels lighter, clearer, more aligned. The noise has softened. The breath feels easier. The space around you hums with quiet purpose. You may not be able to explain it, but you'll sense it. Something inside you has clicked back into place. This is not transformation through effort. It's evolution through surrender. When you stop trying to make things happen, you finally give the universe permission to move through you. You stop interrupting the current with resistance, and instead become one with the flow that was always carrying you forward. It's almost comical how long we believe that control equals safety. For years, you might have thought you needed to fight for your path, to prove your worth, to outthink the unknown. But all that time, life was whispering the same simple truth. You were never meant to do this alone. Everything you have ever wanted, love, peace, meaning, abundance, already exists in potential form, vibrating quietly within the quantum field of your being. The universe doesn't need you to create it. It needs you to tune to it. You don't make the sunrise by pulling on the horizon. You simply wake up in time to witness it. The same is true for your reality. You don't manufacture the future, you align with the version of yourself who is already living it. That alignment doesn't come from force or ritual. It comes from presence. When you are present, you are in sync with life's timing. You are no longer rushing ahead or lagging behind. You're moving in rhythm with the intelligence that animates everything. That's why the highest frequency of creation is not doing, it's being still enough to hear what life is asking of you. Being open enough to let it move through you. Being humble enough to trust that your essence knows the way. As you rest tonight, remember that not all change is loud. Sometimes the deepest transformations happen in silence, in the unseen. In the in-between, while your conscious mind sleeps, your subconscious is busy rewriting the story. The parts of you that once feared, once doubted, once resisted, are learning to trust again. You don't have to supervise the process. You only have to rest. Life is self-correcting. Just as the body heals when you stop picking the wound, the soul restores itself when you stop interfering. And when you finally release the pressure to become, you make space for the natural order of things to reveal itself. The effort dissolves, and what remains is peace. The searching stops, and what remains is clarity. The striving ends, and what remains is truth. When you no longer push against what is, everything that belongs to you begins to find its way home. The job, the relationship, the insight, the opportunity, they all start moving toward you, magnetized by your stillness. Stillness is not stagnation. It's the highest form of movement. It's motion without friction, energy flowing in perfect alignment with purpose. That's why, in moments of surrender, you feel lighter. The world doesn't suddenly change. You do. The heaviness of resistance fades, and life becomes spacious again. And in that space, synchronicities appear not as miracles, but as the natural language of an intelligent universe that has always been listening. You are not creating the future. You are syncing with the version of reality that matches your vibration. Every possible timeline already exists, infinite variations of who you could be. The one you experience depends on the frequency you sustain. When you are anxious, you tune into chaos. When you are grateful, you tune into harmony. When you are still, you tune into the truth. So, rather than asking, "How do I get there?" you begin to ask, "Who am I being right now?" Because it's not the future that shapes you. It's your state of being that shapes the future. You might think surrender means giving up your dreams. It doesn't. It means trusting that the dreams were never random. They were memories from your soul's highest frequency, glimpses of what's already waiting for you in the field. Your only task is to let go of the interference, to stop doubting what you already know in your bones. And as you align with that knowing, creation happens quietly, not through effort, but through resonance. The right doors open, the right people appear, the right timing unfolds. Not because you forced it, because you finally matched it. Tonight, as you let your body rest and your breath soften, know this: the universe is not separate from you. It's the larger body you live inside of the greater rhythm your heart beats to. You are not a fragment trying to find the whole. You are the whole, remembering itself through the fragment. This is the return, the sacred homecoming to your original frequency, to the pure consciousness that existed before fear, before striving, before the illusion of separation. In this remembering, everything becomes simple again. You don't have to control life. You only have to participate in its unfolding. You don't have to reach enlightenment. You only have to stop pretending you aren't already part of it. You don't have to seek perfection. You only have to see that it was never missing. So breathe deeply, softly, one last time before sleep. Let the exhale carry away the remnants of striving. Let the inhale remind you that life has never stopped breathing you. You are not here to make things happen. You are here to let them happen through you. And in that gentle allowing, you will find what has been waiting all along. Not a future to chase, but a presence to remember. When morning comes, open your eyes slowly. Feel the light touch your skin. It's not just another day. It's a new calibration of being. You've stopped trying to be the sun, and in doing so, you've realized you have always been its light.